Today on the panel, we are going to be talking about all the online and flexible learning courses that are available across Atlantic Technological University, or ATU, as you may know us. All the courses that we're talking about today are for September start. So we will be able to talk to you a little bit about the programmes, spotlighting a few programmes, and then mentioning how to apply and get ready for starting learning with us. Joining me on the panel today, I have two of my colleagues from our Online Flexible and Professional Development Department. So initially you will be hearing from Louis Walsh. So Louis, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hi everybody, Louis Walsh is my name. I work as a business executive in the online learning department in the ATU. I'm based in Sligo.
Great, thanks Louis. And then also on the panel is Patrick Sweeney. So Patrick, if you want to chat to everybody there.
Good afternoon, everybody. Patrick Sweeney is my name, work in the online space as well, business development, with a particular focus on civil engineering and construction.
Great, thanks Paddy. So I am sharing my screen at the moment. Hopefully everybody can see it okay. We have a number of slides to go through with you. We are recording this webinar as well. So if you haven't been able to attend live, we will be sharing the recording later on this afternoon as well. So that's all happening at the moment. As I said, we have 45 minutes available for the webinar. We have, if you have any specific questions as we're going through the content, we have a team from our online and flexible learning department available to answer questions for you. So just if you can put your questions into the chat there, I know the team will be more than happy to take those questions. And just to mention as well, if we don't get to answer something during the session, we'll keep the chat live after the session, so keep an eye on it. There may be an update coming if we have to go and search elsewhere for the answer. So just then myself, I'm marketing and student recruitment manager, and I'm looking after the online flexible and professional development recruitment as well. So I'll just kick off the slide itself. I see there's still some people joining us. So we just wanted to start off with a gentle introduction to flexible learning. So all the courses we're talking about today, they are considered flexible learning. They are delivered part-time through different modes, but I suppose the benefit of doing that is it facilitates specialising in your discipline. So some people may have a broad general degree and may seek to come back and study while working and specialise in a specific discipline area that is relevant to your workplace. As we all know, it's a competitive employment market as well at the moment with full employment. So again, a lot of people come back to try and progress in their career and specialise in that area that might give them the edge when they are going for promotion or seeking to change roles. And also then I suppose something that's very current is lifelong learning. So continuous professional development impacts us all in our workplace as well at the moment, with the pace of change in terms of the skills that are needed. And again, to keep Ireland competitive, we encourage everybody to consider lifelong learning to just fill those skills gaps. And as we go through our webinar today, we'll give you a couple of examples of people who have actually kind of taken that step. And then to explain flexible learning pathways, so all the courses we're talking about today, they are available, they are accredited courses and they are mapped to the National Framework of Qualifications. So where we offer courses from level 6 right through to level 9. So level 6, 7, 8 are considered undergraduate, and there are awards available at certificate, higher certificate, bachelor's degree, honours degree and higher diploma. And then postgraduate, we have certificates, postgraduate diplomas and postgraduate masters at level 9. And we do recognise that people don't always follow a linear path in terms of their education and their careers as well. So a lot of people will gain experience through their workplace. And that experience can sometimes be counted when they're trying to seek entry into an academic qualification. So that's called recognition of prior learning. It's where you've gained professional experience and maybe that will facilitate you coming in and studying at a certain level. So again, typically you would need to study at a level 7, you would need to have maybe completed a level 6 or demonstrate the learning that you have gained through your career that qualify you to reach a level 7 entry point. So it's something to consider, I suppose, just to understand all that. All the courses we talk about what level they are, the number of credits they are, and the award that is available. And we do expect people to be joining us at various different levels as they apply to us. The other thing just to mention as well is the different delivery modes that are available. So as I said, everything is considered flexible as we talk about it. So all the courses we talk about are part-time in their delivery. So, you know, we do have a lot of people who work, who have commitments elsewhere. They are their careers, they have full-time caring responsibilities, and they're blending their learning with those life commitments. And what we try to do is provide flexible ways to learn. So some of our courses you will see are online deliveries. So that's where they are predominantly delivered online through our online learning platforms. And they allow students to study with us remotely. So they don't need to be based. We are based in the west and northwest of Ireland, and we have 9 campus locations. But our online students may not need to come on campus, may not need to attend campus. They may need to attend for things like examinations, but that is usually clearly stated within the programme information. So they're the online students. Our blended students then are students where the course combines online learning but also in-person learning. And we would have this hybrid approach for a number of programs that have like block delivery of face-to-face learning sessions, practical sessions, or interactive elements where it suits to come on campus maybe one day a week, or it can be once a semester. And again, that's something just to look out for if you see a blended course and what campus that blended delivery is delivered from. And then we also have part-time on-campus courses. So it may be fully on campus, no requirement for online learning, and you need to be able to come into campus to attend your lectures, and it's all face-to-face learning. So again, a lot of this information is available on all the programs that we offer. And then we mentioned specifically this is to give people an overview of what is available from ATU as online flexible and professional development learning for 2025 September start. So we opened for applications in mid-February, and we will close for applications in mid-August. So at this stage, we have 477 courses that are open for application, and they are spread across those delivery modes that I mentioned there. You can see 224 are online, 152 are blended, and 35 are on campus. We also have 200 micro-credentials. So again, just to mention what a micro-credential is, micro-credentials are small chunks of learning. They can be special purpose awards, they can be certificates, they can be single modules, but they are generally under 30 credits. So they might be one semester of learning or spread over 1 year, one academic year, I suppose is what you think of. And then those pieces of learning may be part of a larger award, a larger certificate. So you might be able to do 2 pieces of micro-credential learning, one per semester, and then combined they make up a larger award. So again, it's about kind of allowing people to upskill in certain areas and maybe gain just learning in an area where they have a skills gap. So that's the explanation of micro-credentials, if you see that written anywhere as well. The programs that we're offering, we have them split out into areas of interest, and that's probably what we'll delve into a little bit more deeply now. So we split them into 4 areas with business, design, education and humanities, engineering and computing, and science and health. And within those discipline areas, there's a broad range based across those levels. We mentioned some undergraduate part-time, some postgraduate part-time, some online, blended, and on-campus learning as well. So I suppose that's just giving you an overview, a flavour of what's available across the board. And then we'll just hand over to Louis now, and he can speak more specifically about the areas of business and education, design and humanities.
Thank you, Cleo. So first I'm going to look at the area of business specifically. There's a total of 75 courses across the ATU. That's broken down as follows. There's 42 in business, 10 in enterprise and law, and 23 in tourism and marketing. And those 75 courses are delivered across online, blended, and on campus. There's 41 online, 18 blended, and 16 on campus. And they range from a level 6 certificate level 7, level 8, up to postgrad level 9, which is a master's course. We have 33 master's programs in the area of business. And then just looking at some specific study areas, our business programs are designed to equip you with a deep understanding of finance, management, marketing, and entrepreneurship. And looking at some of those study areas, in the area of business, you have licensing law. It's a level 7 cert, it's fully online. Finance and technology there, it's a higher diploma course. Again, it's fully online. It's a 1-year conversion course. Looking at tourism, there's a new master's program, sustainable tourism and event management. It's a new course. You can build as you go, so you have the option of a cert, a diploma, or a master's. And then there's also a selection of courses around marketing and sport, where ATU have been traditionally very strong in these areas. There's a good mix of pure marketing and then digital media and marketing, also digital marketing practice, which is very popular. And into the area of sport, you have applied strength and conditioning, sports coaching, sports performance and innovation. And then if we look at to highlight some of those courses in a little bit more detail, the sports coaching, that's a new course. It's part-time blended at level 7. It's delivered in our Letterkenny campus. The course is designed for people who have a passion for coaching, whether individual or team sports, across a variety of domain-specific environments, including participation, talent development, or elite performance. And if you'd like some further information there, the contact is the head of department, that's Nicola Dunyan. And then looking at business analytics, that's a new course for September 25. Again, it's part-time, 100% fully online. It's a level 8 higher diploma in business analytics. And the aim of the course, it's designed to enable students to apply data analysis and business intelligence techniques to their discipline. For further information, you can contact Rachel Shaw. I'll now pass back to Cleo, and we're going to have a look at a student spotlight.
Thanks, Louis. Yeah, so we just wanted to kind of, I suppose, make people aware of maybe some student highlights as well, or the experiences some people have had studying flexible learning. So we have a spotlight here on Nora Gormley. She's a graduate of the Bachelor of Business Honours in Business. So Nora is a business owner and has her own business, Gormley Kitchens, which is based in Fermanagh. Nora was obviously looking to enhance her academic learning and apply it practically to her business. And she really felt that she had a gap there in terms of things like financial management, auditing, taxation, and some of the basics of understanding business. And she really had positive experience in terms of she took the course on as a part-time blended option. So part of her lectures were delivered online and part were delivered on campus in Letterkenny. And we'll just hear from her herself with a short video clip, which hopefully everybody can hear now when I press play.
I chose to do the course because really and truly I've always wanted to go back to education. I never thought I'd be able to do it. I never thought I'd be able to find the time. I thought I'd have to basically go to Dublin. I thought I'd have to give up work. I never realised it was so accessible. There was one evening in ATU in Letterkenny, and then there was one evening online. You were meeting your lecturers face to face. If you had any queries, you could speak to them after the class. You were interacting with your classmates. The online was great because you could just finish work, have your cup of tea, sit in front of the laptop with your pen and no paper. We supply and fit kitchens north and south. So it's had a huge beneficial impact for Gormley Kitchens. The modules were really ideal for somebody who's self-employed and somebody who's running a business. It's boosted my confidence. I feel now that, well, I've done this, I can do anything.
Yeah, that's just a lovely short clip, I suppose, that summarises her experience. And, you know, she would have built up the academic skills in business, but also then the soft skills around confidence building and applying that knowledge and growing her own business as well, and has really, I suppose, helped Nora in terms of her career progression as well and her business. I'll just Go on now to the next slide then. Louis, you want to talk about design, education and humanities? Oh, Louis, I think you're still on mute there. Sorry.
Sorry, Cleo. Yeah, sorry. In design, education and humanities, 68 courses in total. So that's broken down as follows. There's 11 design and creative industries, 32 in education, and 25 in humanities and social sciences. And again, they're delivered across the online. It's 30, blended also 30, and then on campus there's 8. And they range from level 6, 7, 8, and then master's programs level 9. If we just look at the design and education then, through our education programs, we empower students to shape the future of education through innovative teaching practices, educational leadership, and curriculum development. And the study areas then, just to select a couple of them there, in design and creative industries, the 3D modeling and animation, that's a higher diploma. It's a 1-year blended course in Letterkenny. In humanities and social science, there's a sustainability leadership masters. It's a level 9. It's a blended course and it's delivered through the Mayo campus. And then if we highlight some programs in particular, the home economics, it's a part-time program. It's online, it's a level 9 masters, so it's a master's in education in home economics. The program provides the only postgraduate qualification in home economics on the island of Ireland. For further information, you can contact Sonia Coffey. Her email address is there. I suppose in relation to the education options in the ATU, the courses the ATU offer are for already qualified teachers who are looking to upskill or reskill, and not for people who are looking to become teachers for the first time. But there are lots of postgrad opportunities if you are already working in education. And then just to look at the inclusive practice for special needs assistants. It's part-time, level 7. So it's a Bachelor of Science in Inclusive Practice for Special Needs Assistants. And the aim of the course is to equip graduates to lead, integrate and promote inclusive practice as part of their SNA duties. And then for further information there, you can contact Nigel McKelvey and his email is there also. I'll just pass back to Cleo for another student spotlight.
Great, thanks. And just I think I see some questions in the chat about the new national programme for special needs assistance, just tying in with that last programme there. So there is obviously a new programme being developed. It's a level 6 qualification for special needs assistance. There will be a separate webinar hosted by that programme team in April. I think it's the 10th of April. But again, there's a current web page there where people can register their interest and we'll notify you when that programme is ready to accept applications for the September intake. So just on that then as well, just as Louis mentioned, we have a spotlight here of a graduate, Shannon Mulrooney. She's a graduate of the Masters of Arts in Leadership and Advocacy in the early years. So Shannon here talks about getting her master's qualification and how that actually led to her then getting the confidence and the knowledge and the skills to actually go off and set up her own business. And I suppose it's just a real inspiring story to show what you can achieve, and I suppose the flexible learning options as well around studying for a master's online part-time while still working full-time. So I'll let Shannon talk about it in her own words.
My name is Shannon Mulrooney and I studied the Masters in Leadership and Advocacy in early years. I knew that I always wanted to work with children. You know, my passion was for children and child development, but I didn't want to be in a classroom. So I really liked the broad career objectives that this course kind of offered me, and then the online part-time delivery of the course, you know, meant that I could go back and I could work full-time while studying as well. So I found the part-time online very manageable. It came with its challenges in terms of, you know, having a full-time job and the study. So it had a huge impact on my career because shortly after graduating in January 2023, I actually went on to set up my own business. I facilitate children's play classes. I do training workshops for educators and parents, and then I do events. I go into primary schools, early years services, and do children's workshops with them as well. There was a huge sense of accomplishment when I'd finished. Still, even now, I'm like, I can't believe that I've done it and I have a master's degree.
Yeah, it's great. Again, great story. And it is one of those things where I suppose a master's qualification can look quite daunting when you look at it as a full in its entirety. But it's, when it's broken down, it's part-time and it's online, it maybe allows you to study flexibly and achieve something that maybe you've always sought to do. So thanks, Dewey, for all your updates there on those two faculties. I'll hand over now to Patrick to go through engineering and computing.
Thanks, Cleo. So in the engineering and computing, we have 143 courses. It's a pretty wide and pretty broad range. 84 of those are online, 42 on the blended side, 42 on campus. And again, just like before, we have our level sixes right up to level 9. So at level 6 we have our certificates, our higher certificates, and then at level 9 we have our postgraduate certificates, postgraduate diplomas, and right up to masters. And again, stressing the flexibility of that. You know, you can undertake a certificate first and then decide, listen, I'm going to do my diploma or my master's. Breakdown on those, we have 59 in civil engineering and construction, 37 electrical and mechanical, computing at 47, and as Cleo touched on earlier on, 78 on the micro-credential space. So that's could be a single module of 5 credits right up to a special purpose award at maybe 15 or 20 credits. The study areas, civil engineering and construction, and computing and electrical and mechanical engineering, give you some highlights on those. The BIM, business information, building information modeling, really important now in that the new government mandate on BIM. So that's I suppose there's a renewed focus on BIM in the last year or two, and that's going to have broader appeal as government contracts reduce in amount right down. Circular economy principles for the built environment. That's one eye on sustainability and looking at waste within the construction sector is an important part of that. Geotechnical and structural engineering, road and transport engineering, with the amount of infrastructure that's going to happen not only in Ireland but abroad, there's a significant interest in those. As I said, road networks, bridge engineering are all incorporated within that. Mechanical and electrical quantity surveying. It's a pretty neat aspect of quantity surveying. So we have a lot of people who have been qualified in quantity surveying coming back to do that level 9 postgraduate certificate. Project management, I'll touch on that on the next slide. Construction site management, we see a lot of interest at that at level 7 for maybe those with craft apprenticeships who are working within companies who are very much valued, and their employers are looking to get them into more of maybe a supervisory position. So construction site management at level 7 is a really popular one. On the computing side, big data analytics, cybersecurity operations, data science. With the advent of AI now, there is a huge focus on data. Everything is driven by it, and the data science masters level 9 that we have is really popular. Obviously, programs like cyber psychology, software development, and again, that software development is feeding into the absolute huge movement within the industry on the AI front. Obviously, software development has been around for a long time, but again, there's a renewed focus on that from a lot of people, and even people looking to get into that industry. On the electrical and mechanical engineering side, automation and digital manufacturing. There's 2 programs there at level 9, the automotive, artificial intelligence, and connected and autonomous vehicles. Obviously, they are very much kind of automotive focused, you know, self-driving cars, that. I think, but what's really important to note on those programs is the amount of crossover. So if you think of, you know, autonomous vehicles, you're looking at very sensor driven, but those sensors have appeal across many industries. So it's not only autonomous vehicles, self-driving cars, there's actually a wider appeal from the learnings that one gets from those programs. The mechatronics, very popular program. Polymer processing, which is obviously on the plastic side, and then on the manufacturing management, this is for I suppose people, it's a level 8 program for people who are involved in the manufacturing space, but within that they may be looking maybe to get into a more supervisory role or a more management role. So you're looking at things like organizational behavior, people management, lean management modules within that program. So again, it's one for people who are in the manufacturing space but maybe have their eye in terms of progressing within their organizations or beyond. In the project management space, every place you look at the moment tells you that there's absolutely huge growth going to be seen within the project management space, both domestically and internationally. We offer a fully online level 9 suite there. There's a master's or a postgraduate diploma. There's also actually a micro credential at 15 credits, which forms part of this, so that can be done over 1 year. And it's a nice introduction to the project management space. What's really important to note on these suite of programs is that you can actually, there are electives, so you can go down the general project management, which has broad appeal across absolutely every single industry. But then you can go towards construction project management or indeed computing and IT side of the house. So again, there are electives within that to allow you kind of go towards the area that you have an interest in. But certainly on the general project management, every single industry has a need for project managers in that space. The software development, I think I touched on that in the previous slide. There's an online level 8 Bachelor of Science in software development. So as we say there, the objective there is to equip graduates with the skills to seek employment in this exciting area, and that's a really good one for people who are looking to get into that industry. From our academic staff and our academic colleagues, they're continually, and I would say this across all programs, they're continually looking to reassess the content within our programs so that we really keep up to date with emerging trends, emerging platforms, and essentially looking to see what the industry need from the programs and from the graduates.
Great. Thanks, Paddy. I'll just mention then our student spotlight here in the Faculty of Engineering and Computing. So we met last year with one of our students, Chris Gannon. He had taken on BEng Ons in automation and digital manufacturing. And the reason he took that on is because he could see a skills gap within his industry or within his workplace. And I suppose it was something that he needed to engage in to progress in his career. And again, just his choice was, again, the flexible learning option, but he really enjoyed he benefited from the weekly on-site sessions, so allowing for that interaction with the expert lecturers from the industry itself. So again, the blended model, part-time, suited Chris in terms of what he was seeking to achieve from his further study option. So I'll let Chris tell it to you in his own words.
I chose to do this course because we had a skills shortage, and I wasn't as fluent with software and robotics as what I thought it was. The outcomes from the course was primarily programming. It was the use of the different languages that allowed you to interface and integrate robotics into larger automated assemblies. The delivery of information, usually on the online classes, were usually very relevant to what we would be doing on site that week, so it was important to get a good grasp of it. There was a few modules that I thought I would absolutely hate. What I found was once I applied myself to it, I actually came over that course. It's actually not that bad. I found it very useful to be on site 1 day a week. So that's where then I could sit down with the teachers and the lecturers. So that means I could ask them when I got stuck, and you always get stuck, especially when it's new content you don't know. These were people who had come from industry and they were at the very top of their game, so they knew exactly what they were doing.
So a lovely story there from Chris with a huge amount of honesty, where he thought there were going to be modules that he would absolutely hate, but once he got into it, he found that he enjoyed them and he had the support there to make sure that he was able to achieve what he was seeking to achieve through his further study options. So again, Chris is he was based in industry in Galway, and then he was close to the Galway City campus where the course was offered, and was able to attend lectures there and did the online pre-reading through those lectures, and then would have been the practical application at the on-site days then. So we'll move on then from engineering and computing. Again, the huge offering there, and it's worth checking out everything on our website. We'll move on to our science and health faculty then. Paddy, it's back to you again.
So yeah, 168 courses, and as you said, Cleo, it is absolutely worth checking out on the website, because you can drill down to a more kind of a granular level, looking at what the modules are, what the learning outcomes are. So marketing have put a huge amount of effort into making our program pages really clear, and they are really good. So there's a lot of information there on all of the programs. In this space, in the science and health, there's 100 online, 62 blended, and 6 on campus. And again, just like in the previous slides, we do have those level 6 programs at certificate and higher certificate up to the level 9s. And again, important to note, people think that level 9 is just masters. There are postgraduate certificates and diplomas within that space as well, which gives you that flexibility to maybe start something and then go to the next stage and then finish off with your masters. On the breakdown, 37 on environmental science side, 21 exercise and nutrition, 63 on life sciences, and 47 on the nursing and healthcare. And those study areas, so in the likes of life science, bioinformatics, biopharmaceutical science, the ATMP, the advanced therapy, medicinal products, and clinical nutrition and dietetics, which I think we have another slide on after this. On the environmental science side, we've occupational safety and health. No more than project management, the safety and health, or health and safety as a lot of people call it, is right across absolutely every single industry, every single building, every single manufacturing plant, construction site. A hugely popular suite of programs we have here, but has a very much wide appeal. The environmental management, look at everything is environmentally based at the moment in terms of requirements on that side. Marine spatial planning, water surfaces management. Again, we look at the likes of a housing crisis and what's going on in the country at the moment, and there's a massive amount of infrastructure and investment to happen, and water services is one of those. We're going to see a need for water treatment plants, wastewater treatment plants, networks, leak management, all of that, and a lot of that is dealt with that program at level 9 in the water services management. Health and safety representation, buildings archaeology, Irish wildflower identification. So indeed there's a broad swathe, but again, further details on all of those programs are on the web pages. Nursing and healthcare, health project management, again, touching on the project management side there, every industry needs them. So that's quite a good course and quite a detailed course. Community mental health nursing, professional healthcare study. One that we're going to talk about on the next slide is gerontology nursing, and also our professional nursing and those programs done through St. Angela's campus. The gerontology nursing and gerontology practice, this is part-time, it's blended, and it's at level 9. I think everyone is aware of a lot of the Western countries and Western societies are aging in nature. So this is quite, I suppose, appropriate and timely in terms of being available for those in the nursing area who are looking to maybe kind of hone their skills, maybe in the gerontological side of the house. The aim of the course is to develop postgraduates' theoretical knowledge, professional values and skills to enable them to plan and implement evidence-based interventions and person-centered approaches for older people across a variety of health and social care contexts. So again, it would have a wide appeal for those who are either within that area of older person care or looking to get into it. The clinical nutrition and dietetics, which we mentioned earlier, it's not yet open for application, but there's certainly an area within the website where you can register your interest. And I would certainly direct you to Owen Kenny's email address, who's the course coordinator on that program, if there was any specific questions you had on it. But it allows students and graduates of the various nutrition disciplines to pursue careers as clinical dietitians. It is aligned with the standards of CORU, who those who would be in the know would know that's the regulator on the health side of the house. So it has the standards for CORU registration. The course will be hands-on practical experience using evidence-based practice and within the program as well. And again, we can provide further information on that. There will be a placement in hospital, a clinical, or indeed a community setting.
Great, thanks, Paddy. So I just wanted to spotlight again one of our students here. This is Niall Brady, who is a graduate of the Masters of Science in Sports and Exercise Nutrition. So when we were talking to Niall at graduation just there in November gone past, he talked about how, going back to specialise was really important. It has helped his career, but also he's built up a professional network now outside of his own sport. So he works in the area of rugby, but now he has got those contacts in other discipline areas, which is really enhancing kind of a holistic view to sports nutrition. So we'll hear from him specifically, but again, just good to understand kind of the benefits of going for a master's. qualification.
My name is Niall Brady. I studied a Master's in Sports and Exercise Nutrition. I suppose I wanted to pursue a career full-time in performance nutrition, and I'd have good memories from my undergrad when I was here back in like 2012 doing health science physiology. So I'd have good relations with a lot of the lecturers here. Yeah, so I'm actually working full-time now, almost 2 years with Connacht Rugby as the performance nutritionist for their academy and their age grade teams. Yeah, I found it very beneficial, even interlinking with people from different sports who also are pursuing careers in nutrition. Kind of gave you a more holistic approach and understanding to nutrition. I found it very beneficial. Kind of helped me identify what I needed to do regards accreditations and different things as well to push me on in the role.
Great. So that was catching up with Niall recently and just seeing the impact it's had on his career and to allow him to specialise and to focus. He may have come out with a broad general degree in health sciences, and now he's been able to build his career in nutrition specifically. So yeah, just that is probably the main areas that we wanted to cover in terms of the discipline areas. We're obviously very conscious, we said at the very start, there's 477 programmes open for application. We can't go through all 477 of them on a webinar like this, but there is a website, as Paddy mentioned there earlier, atu.ie/flexible, and that'll take you through to all the different discipline areas and the programmes specifically that are open for application. Each programme web page will have an overview, will have the modules that are there, and also the entry requirements and, any information, contact information as well that's relevant. I think a question came into the chat about employer-funded discounts. So we have there our head of business development is Jean Gilligan, and her contact details are there. There is some discounts available where companies sponsor multiple employees to study within a specific programme. So it's up to 10% fee discount available there. We also have some additional information about funding that may be available. So a number of our courses, again, if you look at the programme web pages there, and we also have a fees and funding guide actually available that calls out all the different courses that may have SkillNet funding available. So again, there's different discounts depending on the SkillNet. One thing to mention is that your employer has to be part of the SkillNet in order to avail of those discounts. So it's something to look into from that side. Another funding opportunity is in DASB. So this is specifically around what Paddy mentioned earlier around upskilling for the construction sector. There are a number of programs around the circular built environment and the circular economy and other programs, the built environment as well, regulation for the built environment, where there's DASB funding available. And again, if you look at dasb.ie, there's a number of ATU programs that are aligned to that. Springboard, then, just to mention it, as I know a lot of people would have an awareness of that program. The Springboard program, every year there are programs that are awarded Springboard funding where you get free or 90% funded places on a program. As yet, those programs haven't been confirmed, and that's usually later in the year when we do know that list around May, June time. If you go to atu.ie/springboard and register your interest there, we'll be sure to send out an email to everybody who's registered their interest when we know those programs that are funded as well. So for now, it's just register your interest and we'll come back with more information. We also have micro-credentials that we've been mentioning throughout this as well, where there is certain amount of funding available, again, where there are known skills gaps within the industry or within the economy. There has been funding made available by the HEA to help encourage people to study those small bite-sized pieces of learning. So again, if you go to atu.ie/micro-credentials, you'll see some of that. And then another new incentive that's out there is the SUSI funding for part-time undergraduate awards as well. So I think it was Louis mentioned the special needs inclusive practice. I think that qualifies for SUSI funding as well, where there is grant funding available should you go on and study at a part-time undergraduate level. So again, we'll send you through, maybe we might put a link in the chat of where all of those programs are listed on our website as well. We have about 5 minutes left. So just again, we've got a lot of information we've shared with you today. We have a full part-time prospectus available as well. There's a QR code there if you want to scan it, where you can download it. And again, it's maybe useful to share with your HR department, your training department, or with your colleagues as well, who may have previously studied. Just it is a full document that kind of shows the full remit of what we offer, but also includes the entry requirements and further information about the programs themselves. So today was kind of the first webinar we ran to talk about our suite of online and flexible learning programs, but we do have a series of webinars planned over the course of the summer. So from here on in, nearly every 2 weeks on a Wednesday, we have a webinar. They're usually lunchtime webinars, but in the case of the nursing and healthcare one, it's going to be at 7 o'clock in the evening, maybe just to facilitate some of our some working in that profession. We also, actually it's not here on this list, but we will have, as I mentioned earlier, a webinar specifically about the special needs assistance programme as well. That'll be on the 10th of April. On the 9th of July, I want to highlight there where we'll talk about ATU's funded courses as well. So when we know the programmes that are funded under the likes of Springboard, we will have a webinar as well with all our Springboard coordinators that can give you an overview of that. So if we've piqued your interest in something today and you want to come back for more detail, there is obviously ones there between nursing and healthcare, science, engineering in the built environment, education, business, computing, design, arts and humanities, and sports and nutritional sciences. And the one on the 18th of June, again, we'll hopefully have more information about some new courses that are going through validation at the moment that we talked about. And finally, then, just to cover off the last bit, because I'm sure some of you are wondering, how do you actually apply? So all the part-time and online flexible learning courses, you apply directly to ATU. So it's different to like your full-time undergraduate courses. There's a separate system for that. For your part-time, there is an online application system for ATU. So the best way to find out more is to visit the course webpage to apply. And really do take heed of the entry requirements there, because again, in a lot of the programs we mentioned today, and hopefully you've got a bit of a sense of it, there might be something available at a level 8, which is an honours degree level, but you might need to have a level 7 in order to progress to that. So there are a lot of pathways in to kind of get you to the level you want to be at. So just have a look at the entry requirements, check and make sure if you have what's needed, and if you don't, there may be other alternatives to get you there. One of the alternatives to highlight is what we talked about earlier on in the webinar, is the recognition of prior learning. We have a dedicated team, recognition of prior learning, which can assess your fit to actually get your experiential learning accredited and recognised so that it can actually count towards your entry requirements. And if you want to find out more about that, if you go to atu.ie/RPL, that is the way to kind of understand what that might look like. An awful lot of programs say that they will accept recognition of prior learning. So if you have 20 years experience working in a certain area, and you can demonstrate that you have achieved those learning outcomes that are required to get you into that program, then you have the chance of getting accepted onto the course. Again, there's a full assessment process. Our advice, if you're thinking of going down the recognition of prior learning route, is to apply early, because there is a process to go through to make sure that you are assessed and then taken onto the program. So yeah, definitely one to look into further if you have lots of industry experience as opposed to academic qualifications, or if you've done maybe private chunks of learning that have been supplied by your employer, and they might be recognised as well. But just it's worth looking into that early and submitting your application early for that. And I think that is us. Yeah, we have 2 minutes to spare, but hopefully from today, I'd like to thank Paddy and Louis for all their contributions as well, and for coming on today to give you a sense of the different courses that are available. I know that there has been questions going into the chat area there, and I know the team have been responding to them. And if there is something that's outstanding, we will obviously come back to you as well. We'll continue to send updates in through the chat, and there will be a watch back link shared with everybody who registered for the event, whether they attended or not. So I'll just close things off here and say thank you to everybody, and hopefully we might see you or see your application coming into us soon in the next wee while.